Hey guys, welcome back to the garden. It's last day of April and I thought we would make a couple of videos today. This one will be in the series of what have I learned in the 10 years that I've been making this food forest, and today we are going to talk about ground layers. I will show you some of the combinations that I really enjoy and that are thriving in the garden. Maybe you can use it as inspiration if you're making a new bed or if you are adjusting some of the beds in your garden. I just want to mention that I am standing right beside this one of our apricots, and it has had a lot of frost, so we are not really having any, I don't think we will have any apricots this year because all the flowers are dead and they're coming off when I touch them. So that's the sadness sometimes, but other than that, everything is unfolding the way it should. It's a lovely, very cold spring, and this means that I actually have time to do most of the things I want to do. So there are always silver linings in any situation, as we very well know from permaculture. This underneath some of the bigger fruit trees can be a little difficult because we will not have a lot of sun. So this part here is the ground layer that's getting the most sun, because this is the sort of the sun catchment pocket that we've made for this apricot. So it means that things that are on this side of the tree are thriving quite well, and on the other side, as we will see in a minute, it's not super. But that's just because it's not getting a lot of light. As you can see, I'm just going to mention that most of these plants, they are self-seeding, they are super happy in the garden, and I don't need to do anything. I might spend 15 minutes to remove some of the grass and the things I don't want growing in here, but other than that, it's actually no work at all. So lots and lots of Columbine, as you can see, lots of different ones. Some mints have snuck their way over here, and some lots of different kinds of Malvas. I love those. Black oyster plant, some sorrel, that's beautiful also. Some, is that salad burnet, I think. Also a self-seeded, it's called Cardoon. It's a thistle, I forget, Teasel. So that's good. And what else have we got here? Further on here we have quite a few bluebells, and they will be coming out now. Some DayLilies also, and also, as you can see here, DayLilies are one of my favorite ground covers. You see, nothing gets through these. They are just holding their space, and they are prolific and tasty and all of that. So I really enjoy using those, and I will show some combinations with DayLilies in another bed. But this south side of the tree is pretty much covered. Also, we have a little bit of fennel and some other bits and bobs. It's not super important, but this will be things that will thrive, I think, in any kind of garden, as long as it gets enough light. If we look on this side of the tree, you will probably see that it's mainly a bit of grass, and not a lot will grow here. A few Malvas, different kinds of Malvas, and always this Comfrey I have everywhere. This is Comfrey Officinalis, Løvehale. And this one it has been self-seeding in here, so I think I will end up with a good cover of this on the north side of the tree. And so it's always interesting to see how much actually it's almost like a line where you can see how things are growing really well on one side and not so well on the other side. So I need to find things that will accept the lack of light in here and more things, because I would like to have it more covered. And that brings me to this bed. So this bed is underneath a pair of our Seabuckthorns. Those are nitrogen fixers, and they also give us all these wonderful, amazing orange berries. And this morning I spent about an hour cleaning this bed for things that I didn't want. So I took out the grass and I took out the stingy nettles, but other than that it will be completely covered. So what I have here is, as you can see, fennel. It looks amazing and we eat it every day. I love it, and it's self-seeding. I don't need to do anything. And then there's cow's parsley. I allow that in some areas in the food forest because it's beautiful and insects love it, and why not have it? It's a native plant. And then I've also got a few hollyhocks. These are not looking very huge right now, but they will be okay. And then, as you can see, I've got this Cardoon. When we first started out and there was a lot more light in the garden, these were giant in this area. But now I think it's the only one that has survived, and that's fine. That's part of the succession that also happens very much in the ground layers. So I don't mind that. I'm just allowing other things to take root instead. Lots of gooseberries, they are spreading, so they are liking this space. I see that I've got maybe 6 or 7 new bushes that have just come by themselves. And also I have another one that I really like to use in the more wild areas underneath trees like this. So it's a Martrem. This one is, in English, I think it's called Fewerfew. It has lots of white and yellow flowers, super beautiful, excellent in a vase and goes with every other flower, I think. And it's biannual and super easy to grow, and it will spread once you have it in the garden. It fills out these spaces between the fennel, and I will show you later on in the season, and you will see just how beautiful it is. I've also got a few of these hellebores. I love these, and the bees love them in early spring. And now they have made seed, so I'll just allow them to self-seed around this area. Also, what's interesting to see in the garden is that things are wandering. So there's a migration happening, and this is hang on, it's fourberries. And I see that there are fourberries in other areas in here, so it has come into this area all by itself, and I'm allowing that very much. I think if it wants to be here, it's no work for me, and it's a crop, so it's just wonderful to see that plants are deciding by themselves where they want to live in the garden. Of course, there's always comfrey in a bed like this. So this one is a Russian comfrey, so it will not self-seed all over this area. So I've just I'm sometimes using the Comfrey Officinalis that's self-seeding, and sometimes I'm using the Russian that's not self-seeding. And that has a little to do with the management and how many smaller plants I have beside the Comfrey, and if I want to sort of keep it contained like the Russian Comfrey here. And when I was weeding, I came across this elder, and it's a self-seeded one. It's not really allowed here, but I am keeping it because maybe I can find someone who wants it. So I'm leaving it for now. Other than that, I also have a few DayLilies, foxglove, and some Linaria. These are loved by insects, and they have also just wandered from another bed, so I've allowed that. Why not? And for the late flowering, I have winter Aster. These are easy and amazing ground cover. They are quite important for the bees because they flower very late. I love those. So this bed, it's actually quite a big bed. I hope you can sort of get a sense of how big it is. And I'm thinking I spent about less than an hour this morning, and it should keep itself for the rest of the season. I think that's pretty efficient ground covering. And I promise it will be beautiful also. So those are just, well, the combinations that I've put here, but also the combinations that have happened in this bed. I wanted to show you also a couple of other combinations. So this is underneath one of our, it's a Fewerfew, it's a Kaki fruit, and I have these, I forgot to look these up. These are called Løvehale in Danish, and they are amazing yellow flowering in different levels. I will put it in the description below always. Super easy, super beautiful. It will completely hold its own space. And then of course this is a food forest, so I have lots of English bluebells. I have to have that. It's a forest plant. But I also want to introduce to you this beautiful ground cover. It's Galega. I'm not sure if it's Galega orientalis or another variety. I will put both varieties in the description, but this one, as you can see, I need to clean up some more. This one, as you can see, really gets tall and has lots of either blue or white flowers, and it's also a nitrogen fixer. Super amazing underneath trees, and it's not really allowing a lot of other things to grow here. So I'm loving this, and I also think it's beautiful. We will take a stroll later on in the season to have a look at it when it's flowering. Let me see. What else can I show you? So actually, maybe I can show you something that's not working quite so well. That's a lot of grass has come into this area. It's underneath one of our figs, and I need to clear out the grass or put some mulch on top so that it's not overgrown like this. It used to be covered by mustard garlic, and that's a biennial, and for some reason the mustard garlic has decided that it's now wandering this direction. So it used to be here, but now I see it's over, it's over here. This is the mustard garlic, and it's just moving around the garden. I kind of like that. It's maybe it's on an adventure or something. The mustard garlic is also, yeah, as I said, biannual. It's delicious and super important for some butterflies and other insects. So it's never like set. So it's not like one bed will work forever. When things are changing, when shade is coming in, when maybe perhaps because this one used up a specific mineral or something that it needs, it's built to move, then this will change and I will have to rethink it. So this has to be changed or reclaimed in some way, and that's just how it is. Other areas like this, for instance, I think is very, very, very little work for me. So this is underneath another variety of figs, and what I'm finding is this geranium is covering amazingly. It does not allow a lot of other things to come in. I see there's a powerful dandelion that still has space here, but other than that, not a lot gets into this this powerful geranium. And also lungwort is amazingly important for insects, and we can also eat the leaves, and malvas are everywhere. And this one is Studenternellige, beautiful edible flowers, and it's called something Dianthus Barbatus or something, but I will put it in the description below. Sometimes it's my mind goes like this with all the Latin names. Again, seeing how this powerful daylily is really keeping, mostly I see keeping this geranium at bay. So there's an equality in the powerfulness of the plants in this bed, and really I don't have to do a lot. So that's a combination that I enjoy. I stuck a few wild tulips in there, botanical tulips. I don't remember the name of these, but they are just beautiful. They're very, very red in a moment. There's actually one here that's a beautiful red color, I think. And also one last thing that I try, even with the tulips, I know they're maybe not what you would call a food forest plant, but they are super important to me because they make me happy. And also I try to stick bulbs into the mix everywhere I can, both because some of them are edible, but also because they are beautiful, and also very often they flower very early, and we need to enhance the flowering early spring for all the insects to have something to feed on. I put alliums everywhere. They're edibles, but they are also just beautiful and powerful. So there's a whole load of alliums coming up here, and they don't really mind the powerful geranium. So again, it has to do with the power balance in the mix you are making. What else can yes, this is another bed that I'm actually enjoying right now. It's a tiny bed, but this both has edibles and flowers for my enjoyment and for insects' enjoyment. So this again is a botanical tulip, tiny, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So these are everywhere in this bed, and they are, and then with the sorrel, that's for us, and again lots of these malvas, different tulips, some other geraniums, some strawberries, and some edible campanula. So and then in the middle I put some very tall late flowering flowers. These are Mombrecia, Lucifer, and just because I need something to be as tall as these, they are going to be like this. And also to extend the flowering for each tiny bed like that. So some edibles, 3, 4, 5 edibles, and the rest is just for the enjoyment. I think that is pleasing to me. What else? Combinations. As you can see, this is this is craziness. Alexander is taking over all of this. Babington's leek is trying to make a stand too, and some fennel. But other than that, I think this bed is probably going to end up only as Alexander. But how beautiful is that? There's another combination here that I am enjoying. These are silene. Insects love them. They come in different colors and shades. I love these. They're also self-seeding all over the garden. And they grow with these ground ivy among them. And this means that I still have a little bit of grass growing in here, but it's really not a lot. And then some Frittilaria and some, I don't remember what these are, but you probably know them, huge flowers like this, amazing. The ever present fennel, there's another variety here, the bronze fennel, and then there's also I have this everywhere. This is a French sorrel. This is super easy and super beautiful, and actually the soil is very covered. Right now this ground ivy is flowering, and then once it has flowered, it will put out a lot more leaves. So actually the soil will be completely covered in this bed. No work, hardly any work, and that's what we are looking for. I thought there was another. So as you can probably tell, I like to mix a lot of things together. This means that it's not super efficient when I'm picking stuff for the salad bowl, but I like the combinations. I like to see how the different shades of color or shapes of leaves are mixing with each other, are affecting each other, and that's just how I like to make this garden. Let me show you another combination. I want to show you a couple of combinations that I find are more simple. So this bed, of course, is not simple, but a combination that's working really well in many ways are these, the Babington leek. I also have some irises, but lots of these are Babington leek. And then I have this amazing euphorbia that I think is a glorious, glorious ground cover. It flowers now, and it has an amazing, like a sweet smell, and the leeks are not minding it at all because the leek go down, and this one has very sort of shallow roots that spread out like this. So that's also a way to think about combining things that will grow well together. The shape of the roots, how tall they are, when they are flowering, and if they are coming out early, if they're coming out late. So you can also sort of layer your ground layer according to the time of growth and the time of flowering. And then I think it's all about experimentation. That at least is what's interesting to me, and I'm really allowing a lot of this to happen very organically. I try things out, and then if I have a lot of extra plants and I have a lot of extra seeds, I'm throwing it around so to create this complete coverage and lushness that I'm enjoying in the garden as it is. I have another simple combination that I would like to show you in the other end of the garden. I think I have a lot of grass weeding to do this time of year, and I didn't do a lot last year, so that's probably why it looks to need a caring eye around this bit. Well, actually, I would like to show you this. This is probably the bed that requires the least work by me. So I'm having these, this is like a creeping comfrey, so beautiful and so loved by insects. It covers really well. There's a Malva that has wandered into this bed, but then there's also like Løvehale, Lady's Mantle, I think it's called. Super easy. And then of course this amazing Martrem that's just also just covering. So I don't have any bare soil and I don't have any weeding to do in this garden at all. And it's covering all for this Prunus tomentosa kirsebær busk that I think is so beautiful. So that's a super simple combination. A bit of winter asters so that I have late flowering also. But this creeping comfrey is flowering so early. It has been flowering for quite a while now. And later on I will have geraniums, I will have the Martrem, I will have the Lady's Mantle, and then we will also have the Malvas flowering. And for the last bit of the season we will have the winter asters. So this is no work, and it's super beautiful all the time and flowering for months and months. Then I have maybe my simplest bed. May I present to you my simplest bed? This is so this is Lady's Mantle primarily to sort of line the bed, and then I have these sort of yeah, what are they? Tufts of Carmacias. These are blue starry flowers that are edible, and they are gloriously beautiful. So this bed is also no work. I don't need to do anything. Actually, I haven't done anything for a couple of years now. Super beautiful, super easy, and I lined a bit of it with some Marjoram to have a later flowering, and a few lilies in the mix also. I can't help myself, but other than that, it's a super simple bed and very productive also, and then a plum on top. So those are just some of my combinations that maybe you find useful or inspiring. And well, actually, I'm just seeing that this is actually also quite a simple combination. So again, I stick down some early flowering bulbs. These hyacinths are very early and beautiful, very blue and amazing. They are just at their last leg now. And then I have this buellweed also flowering this beautiful blue color. And when that one is done, I have these woodland strawberries coming up. So it's like a 3 times flowering, and then the strawberries we eat, of course. This one is also edible in a way, I'm not sure, so I won't say anything about that, but I think it is. So that's also super easy and super beautiful, and as you can see, not a lot of weeding needs to be done. I haven't really touched it for a couple of years. I could go on, but I hope this was useful, and thank you for watching. See you later.